So in this segment, we're going to be discussing Nigel Farage being confronted over the riots and his kind of role in it. I use that term kind of loosely because I'm not looking for a libel case or a copyright claim, so it's going to be a lot of pausing. But, you know, I think this is quite important to look at because he's being confronted over this stuff. And I think Susanna Reid and Ed Balls do an okay job here.
You have been criticised by a number of people, including Conservative Party leadership candidate Tom Tugendhat, for being irresponsible and dangerous. And he accuses you of amplifying false information when you suggested that, in a video, by the way, that police withheld the truth about the person alleged to be behind this tragedy.
So I'm surprised Tom Tugendhat is actually taking this role because, you know, James Cleverly, I guess Tugendhat as well, will be attacking the Reform Party, whereas Jenrick are trying to emulate the Reform Party in terms of their right-wing ideas. And, you know, Farage is going to argue he just asked questions or whatever, but he did amplify people like, I think it was Andrew or Tristan Tate, one of the two, who pushed this idea that the person who committed the stabbings was a Muslim migrant. And, you know, you can say, oh, I'm just asking questions or whatever, but it's like, you know what you're doing. You're amplifying false information, which is what he did, in my opinion.
Now, let's bear in mind there is a legal process going on. We don't want to compromise.
We always hide behind that, don't we?
And with the argument of, you know, the police are hiding this person's identity, they have to, because he was a minor. The person who committed the stabbings was under the age of 18, or I think it's under the age of 18, and therefore couldn't reveal their name.
That's the rule of law in this country.
Well, how interesting you say that.
That we don't compromise someone's fair trial.
So this is really interesting.
And allow the families of those who have suffered to hear the truth.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? He's attacking now contempt of court that we have in this country. He's attacking the rules around contempt of court.
Hide behind this again and again and again.
Why are you saying hide behind?
I'll tell you why.
You are fully in support of the rule of law.
I'll tell you why.
And you know what contempt of court is.
Some patriot doesn't care about British laws.
This is very interesting, OK?
Please don't veer into contempt of court.
No. I'm going to tell you what Lord Carlisle...
Your claim that we're hiding behind the rule of law.
She's piecing them up here.
Lord Carlisle, Liberal Democrat peer, but a very senior legal man, along with Jonathan Hall KC, who is the government's terrorism czar, OK? So these are two very significant figures. Both publicly said 3 weeks ago that the government ought to have told people the truth, that in general, governments hide behind this idea that there's a legal process going on, therefore we can't give the public... Susanna, you can shake your head. This is...
I'm absolutely shaking my head because you said... Hang on. You repeated misinformation.
Are you aware? Are you aware?
Yeah, and this is what I mean. Like, he kept hiding behind the fact that, you know, the person was a minor, and therefore he kept insinuating who this person could have been, because he knew the police weren't going to release the information because it was illegal.
Surveillance.
Are either of you aware?
You asked whether the
terrorism
truth is being withheld from us.
Well, of course it's being withheld. Look what happened in Nottingham. A triple murderer. Callacane, a triple murderer. It took us a year to find out that a senior doctor had said, do not let this man out or he will kill.
You're conflating two entirely separate cases.
The public deserves...
That's not how the rule of law works.
Do you know what? The public deserve to know the truth, and both Lord Carlisle and...
So he's gish galloping. She's trying her best there, but he's seasoned at this, at gish galloping, deflection, manipulation.
And
the truth was that the suspect was not under surveillance. The truth was that the suspect had...
Do you know that?
Well, you don't know that he was under surveillance. You just raised this spurious question.
And why do you think the riots happened in the way that they did?
Well,
because she spread misinformation, you massive donut. That's why. These people were ready. These people hated immigrants already. They hated Muslims already. All they needed was a flashpoint, and you helped amplify it.
Because there was a vacuum. There was a vacuum. People were not...
Because that's the rule of law, blood. He was a minor. The police didn't give out the information. You can argue there's a victim. You can argue against that rule if you want. You can argue maybe the legal definition should be changed to 16. So if a 17-year-old commits a crime, it can be announced. But what you're arguing is against the law here, which is fine. And, you know, laws aren't infallible. But the argument he's making here is incredibly disingenuous. Because, you know, he knew the police wouldn't give out that information. That's why he kept speculating.
The speculation was online was that this was a migrant who had committed this crime.
So why not kill the rumours? Do you know what?
Because of the law. Oh my days, this man's an idiot.
You fed the rumours. You inflamed the rumours.
I said to the
you on
government-
social media gave the impression that there was truth behind the idea that this was in fact a migrant who'd done this, and it was untrue.
I was saying, tell the truth, give the public information,
No, but
and the
Nigel,
problem will die down.
The thing is,
and the fact that
thing is now you're a member of Parliament.
Do you know
You've
what's
got responsibility now. You can't just behave like some
Neither of you
pundit
knew.
on some TV show.
You can pretend
You're a
all you
member
like.
He wasn't an MP at the time, I think. I could be wrong.
of Parliament.
Neither of you
have
knew.
to behave in a responsible way. If you give the impression to people
Ed,
that what's being hidden...
No, he would have been an MP because this was during the Labour. This was fairly recent, so he would have been an MP. It was amplifying these kind of messages.
Is it's a migrant who is committing these crimes. You end up with riots in the streets and hotels being burned.
You can go on as long as you like. Neither of you knew, until I just said it, that the terrorism czar had backed up my words 100%. Did you?
I don't think they did back up your words 100% at all.
No, I did know.
Did you?
I absolutely...
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Sorry, we know that people thought...
You do not
that
know.
perhaps
Terry
more
did not defend what you said in those days.
That perhaps more information should have come out earlier.
Absolutely did.
And, you know, a judge ruled on that and actually gave that information out. So maybe that's one of the things that should be fast-tracked in these sorts of cases where, you know, things can get inflamed. But the problem is we got the brother who inflamed it right here. He's on the TV.
And Lord Carlisle went further to say we must not hide behind the fact there are criminal proceedings from going on, and that must not stop us telling the public the truth.
But that's for a judge to rule on.
I think you were giving the impression was that it was a migrant, Nigel.
No,
that was untrue.
Ed, had the government and the police done what I'd asked, those riots
You wanted the police to break the law. Okay, then, buddy.
would have been nothing like as bad.
Nigel Farage, I just think that with power comes responsibility.
Quite right.
Jeez, Uncle Ben. She's quoting Uncle Ben.
And you cannot just, on camera, raise spurious questions which you know will inflame people.
Tell us the truth.
And then just...
How inflammatory is that?
Can you please just point out the police couldn't do that because he was a minor? Like, Jesus Christ, man.
We know as broadcasters, you can't just put false information out into the public knowing what happened.
Exactly.
Oh my God, man! Like they tried, they did an okay job, but you know they should have just said that, and they should have gone with that, but they didn't. This is painful in the end, but you know, ultimately, that was the reason why they didn't announce the person who had committed the murders until a judge ruled on it. Because the judge ruled, I think it would be in the best interest for the public to know who the person was. It's just crazy to me, honestly. Just like, wow. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.